Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Howard Eskin is the only reporter in these rooms with some damn balls, because they're all like new lawyers. You know what I mean? They're just trying to do the right thing, get along with everybody, make friends with everybody, to add to their resume, to go up the totem pole, whatever it is. Howard Eskin's just like, listen, this is what we want to know, so fucking tell us.
The end of those 2 months.
Do you want James Harden back?
Pardon me?
Do you want James Harden back?
James Harden's a great player.
That didn't answer the question.
James Harden's a great player. Hold on, let me get the chat up here. Make sure we, he said straight up, do you want James Harden back? And I know I'm reading too far into a press conference, but Nick Nurse hesitated. He did the old, did you ever ask somebody a question and you know that they're about to lie to you, and they stall you out for a couple extra seconds. They say, what'd you say? And you repeat it, and then so they could have a little bit more time to answer. I feel like he heard Howard ask it the first time. And he's like, what'd you say? So he could like get a couple more seconds to think of an answer. And then he just says, James Harden's a great player. That is interesting, because if he, in his heart, I feel like wanted James Harden back on this team, he would have straight up said, yeah, of course we want James Harden back. He's a multiple-time, 10-time All-Star, etc. And he's one of the best passers in the game, and on and on and on. If he really wanted James Harden on his team, I feel like he would have answered quicker than that. His answer was interesting.
Back.
Pardon me?
Do you want James Harden back?
James Harden's a great player.
That didn't answer the question.
Well,
you didn't answer the question.
I would say this is that James has a decision to make, and I'd be very happy if he came back.
That just feels like that doesn't. I don't think. Yeah, Muggsy, I'm with you. That sounded like some, as the kids say, cap. James Harden's a great player. James has a decision to make. I would be very happy if James came back. That was an interesting answer. I don't think Nick Nurse doesn't want James Harden back. I think this more so might be the Sixers not wanting to publicly say that because they feel like James Harden has been trying to run up the price with the leak into rumors about Houston and this and that. And, maybe if they openly, we want him to come back, we definitely want him to come back, that might not be a good negotiating tactic. So maybe that's why he said it. It'll be interesting to see what James Harden decides to do. Maybe Nick Nurse does want his point guard Fred VanVleet. I say Fred VanVleet as an option if James Harden walks, because you don't have many options. People keep replying to me saying, yeah, Fred VanVleet is going to get it done. That's going to get us in. No, I'm just saying if James Harden walks, what option do you have?
I think I'm with you on the whole James Harden thing too. Like I don't think he doesn't want him back, but I also think he just kind of doesn't care. Like if he's back, great, I'll do what I can, but if not, I'll do it differently.
Do you think he would prefer? Do you think he prefers more of a coachable player, though? You know what I mean? Do you think maybe he assumes that James Harden isn't very coachable? Because James seems like, with these I want the freedom to play the way I want to play. That doesn't sound like you want to be coached. So do you think Nick Nurse prefers a point guard who he can kind of coach his own way?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you could get, for instance, Fred VanVleet in here. That's going to be difficult with the contract situation, but I can't think of very many players that would be less of a fit for what we know Nick Nurse as right now than James Harden. I have confidence in his coaching ability to do everything he can to make it work, but yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all if he's just kind of secretly hoping he isn't back. It wasn't the most convincing answer.
Yeah, exactly.